Let's talk about the rejection nobody likes to admit. Sexual rejection. It's not just about being told not tonight. It's the silence after intimacy, the avoidance of touch, the brush off when you lean in, the partner who never initiates or turns away the moment that you do. And while we say we're fine, deep down it lands like a dart to the ego, like confirmation that we're no longer desirable. But here's the truth bomb. Most sexual rejection has nothing to do with your body. It has everything to do with their unspoken wounds. So let's take a look at when desire feels dangerous. Sexual rejection is more than just a moment, it's layered. Because sex is about more than bodies, it's about vulnerability. And when someone turns you down, it doesn't just say, I don't want sex right now. It can feel like, I don't want you. You don't excite me. Or you're not attractive. Or even worse, you're not enough. This is why it cuts so deep. Because sex isn't just physical, it's personal. But what you're forgetting is this. Their rejection may be coming from fear from trauma, fear from stress, fear from shame. And the easiest person to project that onto is you. So let's look at the psychology behind sexual avoidance. Here's why people reject sexually, and it has very little to do with how hot you are. Firstly, unprocessed sexual trauma. People who've experienced abuse, assault, or even early shame around sex often disconnect from intimacy. It's not about you, it's about survival. Then, performance anxiety. Men especially carry the burden of having to perform. If they feel like they might fail, they avoid the whole experience. They don't say, I'm scared I can't perform. They say, not now. You feel rejected. They feel relieved. Then, resentment in the relationship. When emotional needs aren't met, the desire fades. But instead of addressing that, people weaponize sex. They withhold, they avoid, and suddenly sex becomes a scoreboard. Then, low self-worth. People who don't feel worthy often reject closeness, especially if they think you want them. It triggers disbelief. Why would you want me? So they push you away first. I'd like you to imagine this. You spend hours choosing the perfect gift for someone you love. You wrap it, present it, hold it out to them, and they push it back into your hands and say, no thanks. It's humiliating, not because the gift was bad, but because it felt personal. That's what sexual rejection does. But what you forget is, maybe they didn't know how to receive it. Maybe they've never felt worthy of gifts. Maybe they're afraid of what it means to accept something so intimate. Their rejection isn't a verdict on the gift. It's a reflection of their own emotional capacity. So, how you start to shrink. If this keeps happening, here's what it does to you. You stop initiating. Fear of rejection becomes a full body freeze. You don't flirt, you don't reach out, you don't wait to want to be wanted. You start overperforming, trying harder, dressing up more, becoming a fantasy to win back approval. You feel shame after intimacy. If they pull away after sex, you wonder, was I just used? Was it that bad? You detach emotionally. You go into robotic sex mode. Sex becomes a duty, not a joy. You show up physically, but check out emotionally. And worst of all, you start equating rejection with identity. I'm just not sexy anymore. I'm not wanted. I'm undesirable. So let's look at some solutions to help healing from sexual rejection. Firstly, separate rejection from self-worth. Their behaviour is theirs. It reflects their blocks, their body, their fears. It says nothing about your value. Every time your mind says, I must not be desirable, replace it with, they're struggling to connect. That's not mine to fix. Then have the hard conversation. If you're in a relationship, avoidance feeds shame. You have to talk, not in the bedroom, not mid-rejection, but calmly, clearly, outside the heat of the moment. Try, I feel a disconnect and I want to understand what's really going on. Or, is it something that you're struggling with that I don't know about? Avoid blame. Focus on understanding, because if they can't go there, that's your answer. Then, rebuild intimacy non-sexually. Sometimes the path back to sex is through safety, not pressure, not performance. Start with eye contact, physical touch without expectation, conversations that create connection. Let desire regrow through trust. Reclaim your own sensuality. Don't let someone else's disconnection become your disembodiment. Move. Dress for you. Flirt with life. Be magnetic. Not to win someone, but to feel alive again. And in my final reframe, sexual rejection doesn't mean you're undesirable. It means someone is blocking connection, either consciously or unconsciously. It might be fear, it might be shame, or it might be trauma, but it is not a verdict on your beauty, your self-worth, or your sensuality. You do not need to beg someone to touch you. You don't need to overperform to be wanted, and you don't need to shrink to stay safe. You are not just a body to be accepted or rejected. You are the full spectrum, human, worthy of intimacy that is reciprocated, not negotiated. And if someone can't meet you there, let that be your redirection, not your ruin, because the right connection never makes you feel like a burden.